You call your cat's name, nothing. Not even a flick of the ear. They're right there, you can see them, and it's as if you don't exist. You try again, still nothing. Most people take it personally. But what's actually happening is far more interesting than indifference. And once you understand the real reasons behind it, you'll stop feeling invisible and start feeling like you finally get your cat. Number 1, they weren't built to obey. Let's start with the most important thing. Your cat is not a dog. And that difference goes much deeper than behavior. It goes all the way back to evolution. Dogs were domesticated over thousands of years, specifically to respond to humans. To listen, to follow commands, to be attentive and obedient. That drive to please was literally bred into them. Cats domesticated themselves. They moved into human settlements on their own terms, hunting rodents around grain stores, tolerating our presence because it was convenient for them, not because they needed our approval. Nobody selected them for obedience. So when your cat doesn't respond to you, they're not being difficult. They're being exactly what evolution made them, a creature that interacts on their own terms, not yours. Nobody bred cats to come when called, which honestly explains a lot. Number 2, they hear you. They're just choosing not to answer. This one has been studied, and the results are both fascinating and slightly humbling. Research has shown that cats can recognize their own name and distinguish it from other words and even from the names of other cats in the household. When they hear their name, there's a measurable response. A flick of the ear, a slight head turn, a shift in attention. They know you're calling them. They simply don't see a compelling reason to respond. This isn't a failure of intelligence. It's actually a sign of it. Your cat has assessed the situation and concluded that whatever you want from them is less interesting than what they're currently doing. They've heard you, they've considered it, and they've declined. It can feel like rejection. But it's actually your cat exercising a level of autonomy that most animals simply don't have. They're not broken, they're not unattached. They just have standards for when and how they engage. And right now, you didn't make the cut. Number 3, you may be giving them too much. Here's something most owners don't expect to hear. Too much attention can actually push a cat away. Cats have a threshold for social interaction. Some have a very high one. They want to be with you constantly. Others have a much lower one and need significant alone time to feel comfortable. When that threshold gets crossed, when the petting goes on too long, when the attention becomes overwhelming, when you keep reaching for them every time they're nearby, they shut down. This is called overstimulation. And it doesn't mean your cat doesn't love you. It means they've reached their limit for that particular moment and need space to reset. The cats who seem to ignore their owners most are often the ones whose owners pursue them the most. Give your cat room to come to you, and you'll often find they do. More reliably, more willingly, and on their own terms. Which is the only way it ever really works with a cat. Number 4, you're calling them at the wrong time. Cats live by their own internal clock, and it doesn't always match yours. They have natural cycles of activity and rest. There are times when they're alert, engaged, and genuinely open to interaction. And there are times when they're in rest mode, conserving energy mentally somewhere else entirely. If you're consistently trying to engage your cat during their downtime, calling them when they're settling in, reaching for them when they're winding down, you're working against their natural rhythm. And the result looks like ignoring. Pay attention to when your cat naturally comes to you, when they vocalize, when they seek contact. Those are the windows when interaction is welcome. Call them then, and you'll get a very different response. The timing matters more than most people realize. Number 5, they're completely focused on something else. A cat in hunting mode is unreachable. When your cat is watching a bird through the window, tracking a bug across the ceiling, or engaged in the kind of deep focused play that activates their predatory instincts, the rest of the world ceases to exist. Their brain has narrowed its attention to a single point, and you are not that point. This is the same focus that makes cats such effective hunters. It's not selective hearing in the social sense. It's a genuine cognitive state where external input is filtered out. The same is true of deep sleep. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day, and during deep sleep, their awareness of the outside world is significantly reduced. Calling a deeply sleeping cat and getting no response isn't being ignored. It's just biology. They'll find you when they wake up, on their own schedule, as always. Number 6, something in their world has changed. If your cat has started ignoring you more than usual, ask yourself one question first. Has anything changed recently? A new pet in the house, a move, a new person, a shift in your daily routine. Something that feels small to you might feel significant to them. Cats are exquisitely sensitive to changes in their environment, and when something shifts, withdrawal is often their first response. This isn't your cat punishing you. It's your cat processing. They need time to recalibrate, to reassess whether their world still feels safe and predictable. If you can identify the change, focus there. Keep your routine as consistent as possible. Give them space without disappearing. Let them set the pace for coming back. Most cats do come back once the dust has settled and the new normal starts to feel like normal. Number 7, they might be telling you something is wrong. This is the one to take seriously. If your cat has always been responsive and has suddenly become distant, especially if they're older, consider the possibility that something physical is going on. Hearing loss is common in senior cats and can look exactly like ignoring. A cat who doesn't respond when called from behind them, or who seems startled when you appear unexpectedly, may simply not be hearing you anymore. Pain and illness also cause cats to withdraw. A cat who is uncomfortable will often seek solitude, interact less, and disengage from their usual routines. If the change is sudden, significant, or accompanied by any other behavioral shifts, eating less, moving differently, sleeping more than usual, a vet visit is worth considering. Your cat isn't ignoring you. They may be asking for help in the only language they have. Number 8, they're watching to see what you'll do. Some cats ignore you strategically. They've noticed that when they don't come, you sometimes come to them. You call, they don't answer, and eventually you get up and find them. You bring the interaction to them. And from your cat's perspective, that's a much better outcome. This is your cat understanding cause and effect and using it to their advantage. They're not being manipulative in any human sense. They're simply doing what works. If sitting still and waiting consistently results in you coming to them, they will continue sitting still and waiting. The irony is that the more you pursue a cat, the more they tend to withdraw. And the more you give them space and let interactions happen on their terms, the more they tend to seek you out. It's one of the more counterintuitive things about living with a cat, and one of the most consistently true. Here's what all of this adds up to. Your cat isn't ignoring you to hurt you. They're navigating the world in the way they were built to navigate it, independently, on their own schedule, and entirely on their own terms. The moments when they do come to you, when they do respond, when they do choose your lap over every other spot in the house, those moments mean something precisely because they're not guaranteed. Your cat is not obligated to show up. When they do, it's a choice. That's not indifference. That's the highest form of cat affection there is. Next time your cat hears you call and looks away, don't take it personally. Wait. Give them space. Let them come to you in their own time. And when they do, and they will, you'll know it means something. I post 2 new videos every week about understanding your cat more deeply. If that matters to you, subscribe. It's free, and go find your cat. Or let them find you.